the Daily Telegraph's Tim Blair and restore some sanity to what's going on. Mate, if things aren't crazy enough in Australia at the moment, you've been having a look at Davos, or as I like to call it, Davos, as they meet every January in Switzerland, and they all turn up in their private jets. But you reckon they've actually they've come face to face with reality when it comes to electricity and energy at Davos?
Yeah, over at Davos, Joint, it used to be the case that they're all, they were very up for all sort of climate change stuff, and you'd have these various zillionaires and government chiefs and representatives of various NGOs and so on saying how much they needed climate action, and it was always going to cost everyone a lot of money, especially in Australia. But now they've turned right around. Chris, they're all concerned about not having enough reliable electricity. And that's because they're now, of course, all investing in AI, which requires gigantic amounts of power, and they're suddenly realising that, hey, there are limits to this solar and wind caper. We really need nuclear and coal.
Yeah, so they didn't mind the power being too expensive and unreliable when it was just powering air conditioners and televisions for humble people like us. But now that their AI investments are on the line, they suddenly realise they need stacks of electricity and it needs to be reliable. Yeah, it's a good pickup, mate, to see how they've changed their tune at Davos on that. I want to get to electric vehicles as well, because there's some conflicting information around. Have a look at, for instance, our beloved Climate and Energy Minister Chris Bowen.
We've got more than 400 Australians today now buying an EV or a hybrid. We've got to keep up with the charging. We're doing that. This is a great partnership between the Albanese government and Ampol. Open for business.
Look, I've seen him also on Instagram very recently, Tim, say that EV, or including EV and hybrid cars, have outstripped the sales of petrol and diesel cars, that he's winning this push for the vehicles, electric vehicles in the country. But it's not the case, is it? The stats show otherwise.
Well, the word hybrid in that calculation is doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
If you're going to plonk EVs and hybrids in the same category, well, we've had hybrids around in Australia for a long time, since the early 2000s. I think the Toyota was the pioneer with hybrid technology. Hybrid just means you've got an electric engine going along for the ride. You don't necessarily have to recharge a hybrid. With most of them, you don't. And, they're primarily petrol with this little mate, a little electric pal to help you out. So if he's adding that into it, I think I hate to say it, but I think Minister Bowen might be just fibbing a little bit. Terrible.
Yeah, that explains it absolutely. He ropes in the hybrids with the EVs. There's a bit of electricity. He may as well chuck in the petrol and diesel engines too, because they all have alternators. They have batteries. There's a bit of electricity in them as well. Especially with petrol, you need the spark. Hey, I've got to pick up on this release today from Monique Ryan, the mother teal of the seat of Kooyong in Melbourne. We named cyclones, she reckons, so we should name killer heat waves. Look, what do we say? That when it gets really wet in winter, we like to say it's flannering down. So we've got 3 hot days in a row. It's going to Monique next week.
Well, according to Monique Ryan, we need to identify heat waves by name so we can shame the people who cause it. Which it's going to be a very boring kind of thing, because if, as she claims, all heat waves are generated by excessive carbon dioxide output, isn't every storm or every heat wave going to be just named China? I mean, isn't every extreme weather event going to be named? Oh God, we've got a Xi Jinping again. This is terrible. I don't think she's really thought this through. Although, I'm up for having a heat wave named after me. This might be my life's work. I'm in contact with. I'll be in contact with Monique Ryan's office, petitioning them. I want Heatwave Blair by next year. Come on.
The Heatwave Blair project. I've got some other ideas for names. Let's have a look. Monique Ryan herself has given us some ideas for heatwave names. Have a look at this one.
Put your masks on. Put your masks on. Put your masks on.
The mask mandate heatwave. That would work. Or her husband. What about her husband? Let's have a look at her husband during the last federal election campaign. The placard stealer heatwave.
Oh God, she's adorable. I hope she reigns over us forever down in that crazy little part of Melbourne. It would be sort of nice if like all of her metaphors didn't really work. Again, I get back to this point of not thinking it through. She's also saying, we used to shame cigarette brands and so on, but isn't that like talking about free advertising? Like if she's going to put the names of multinational, coal mining and electricity and oil firms all over heat waves, just bonus ads for everybody. Go for it. Go for it, Teals.
She also forgets the most important point and that is that we've always had heat waves. We are the land of drought and flooding rains. And while our hearts are with so many people who are battling searing heat in Victoria and South Australia at the moment and bushfires, the fact is we've always had them and we always will. Thanks for joining us, Tim. Love your cut-through common sense. Tim Blair there. We'll catch up with him Thursday as well. You can read him in the Daily Telegraph.